Imagine this. A woman is standing right before you, her body shaking with silent desire, sending out signals so clearly that it would be difficult to ignore, if you knew what to look for. Many men ignore these subtle sexually driven hints. But what if you could understand her unspoken desire? What if you knew, without any doubts, that she was yearning for sex, right there? In the next couple of minutes, I'm going to reveal the raw erotic signs that a woman's body sends out whenever she is aroused and yearning for you. Stay with me, because, by the end of this video, you'll never miss another chance to make her need you more than ever. Before we begin, please do me a favor and hit that like button. It helps us spread more valuable insights. Now, let's get started. Women may sometimes not initiate sex as boldly as men, but their bodies speak volumes whenever they are aroused. Rather than directly asking for intimacy, they typically rely on a variety of subconscious signs to indicate their desire for sex. 1. Lips, the silent invitation. If a woman chews or licks her lips, it's not merely a random habit, it's a subtle, strong hint of her sexual desire. According to psychological research on nonverbal communication, lip biting is a widely known behavior associated with nervous excitement and sexual tension. In the presence of sexual stimulation, her body reacts naturally. Her lips enlarge slightly because of increased blood circulation. Biting them is an unconscious effort to relieve the tension radiating through her. At that time, her mind is likely overloaded with erotic thoughts she's scared to say. Lip biting can also act as a self-soothing action, a means to keep her lust in check while silently signaling to you that her feelings have taken an intense sexual turn. If you notice her biting her lips when she's around you, rest assured she's thinking of what it might feel like to have your lips on hers, or possibly even imagining your touch somewhere more intimate. 2. Touch. The warm, intimate invitation. Women like to communicate their sexual desire through touch, a subtle but very revealing action. Studies on physical affection reveal that if a woman is aroused, she might not jump on you immediately, but her body desires connection. If she's feeling turned on, she will find reasons to touch you more regularly, whether it's just a light brush of her hand on your thigh or a prolonged stroking on your neck. Professional psychologists note that these intimate touches, even though small, are strong signs of sexual desire. If her fingers move into more sensitive places like your inner thighs or lower back, she's testing the waters, evaluating how you'll respond. Her behaviors are triggered by an increase in oxytocin, commonly known as the love hormone, which rises during times of arousal, making her crave physical intimacy. The more daring and deliberate her touch, the more she's making you understand that she's hoping for you to take things to the next level. 3. Hips, the ancient signal. A woman's hips have long been a universal emblem of fertility and sexual desire. If aroused, she moves differently. Her hips take on a noticeable sway, and her steps get more dramatic. From an evolutionary perspective, this swaying movement is a primal signal of sexual availability, founded on outdated mating rituals. Psychologist Dr. Carl Grammer's research on body language indicates that these small changes in how a woman walks are caused by her heightened awareness of her body and the way it's perceived. She's basically putting her body on display, swinging her hips as an unintentional signal to attract your attention to her curves. This additional rhythm, the slow, intentional manner she moves when she knows you're paying attention, is an obvious sign that she's inviting you to admire her body. If you're sensitive to this sign, you'll discover that her hips naturally get more fluid when she's sexually charged, as if every movement is a dance meant for seduction. 4. Eyes. Windows to her desire. If you've ever noticed a woman's gaze lingering just a bit too long, you've sensed her sexual desire without knowing it. Research indicates that the eyes are one of the most telling signs of arousal. When a woman feels sexually attracted, her pupils expand, a natural reaction associated with the brain's production of dopamine, the pleasure hormone. The more aroused she gets, the more difficult it is for her to stop herself from staring at you. Research on interpersonal attraction indicates that prolonged eye contact, regardless of how brief, can stimulate sexual chemistry between individuals. If she continues keeping eyes with you, even when trying to divert her gaze, it's an indication that her thoughts are wandering into erotic regions. Her pupils might expand, her stare may soften, or she might flicker her eyes down to your lips. This continual back-and-forth glance is her strategy of keeping control as her thoughts fantasize about what might happen next. Number 5. Arousal is written in subtitles. The reality is that women's sexual signals are typically much more subtle than men's, but they are no less strong. When she begins showing behaviors like licking her lips, finding reasons to touch you, swinging her hips seductively, and staring at you with enlarged eyes, her body conveys what her words might not say directly. Psychologists highlight the strength of these nonverbal clues. Understanding and responding to them can increase sexual desire and emotional attachment between partners. When you notice these signs, she is already in a position for intimacy and just waiting for you to take action. So next time you notice her giving these signals, don't hesitate. Step up and meet her needs with confidence.